Right, very good morning to one and all, and a warm welcome to the next session on Python. So here, the previous session, we have started discussing about modules. So in the previous session, we have seen how we can create our own module and how we can use that module in any program. For example, if there is a method called as def CSC, okay, and if method returns something, or if the method is executed, something will be printed on the output screen. And at the same time, if there is one more method called as ECE, and if ECE is having something, and if one more method one more method name is AIML, and AML is having something. So if any, what we generally do is that we have saved all this code in main.py, okay, in main.py, and in some other program, if you want to make use of this CSC, ECE, and AIML without rewriting it, we have used a keyword called as import main, and within that, okay, within that we can simply call CSC, we can simply call ECE, or we can simply call AIML. Okay, so without rewriting the code for CSC or ECE and AML, we can directly call these three methods by just using the import statement and the module name. So if you save this one in main.py, where py stands for Python, so this is called as a main module. Or if you save this by using 1.py, it is a module 1, etc. So in this main module, if you want to bring this module back into any program, you can write the first statement as import space module name. So the total module will be imported into our program, and once it is imported, we can execute the methods in that module. So for example, in this main.py module, there are three methods: CSC, ECE, and AIML. We can call any of the methods like this. And for example, in main method, I don't want to access in main module, I don't want to access all the methods. In main module, okay, I want to access only the method CSC. I can view the statement like from main import CSC. Now what will happen is Python compiler is going to bring CSC function from the main module. So you are not allowed to execute the ECE and AIML if you write the statement like this. So this is how we can create a module in Python, and how we can access the things in the things of the module in any other Python programs. So this is what we have seen in the previous session. Now in today's session, we are going to look at some default modules in Python. Okay, default modules in Python. So default modules in the sense, the modules which come along with the Python, okay, the modules which come along with the Python language are called as default modules. So among all the default modules, let us take the first module of math. So this math module, which is having several functions which are related to mathematics. For example, if you want to find the square root of a given number, you can use sqrt function. That sqrt function was in this math module. If you want to find the sign value of a number, you can use sin function. That sin function was located in this math module. Or if you want to find the factorial, we already seen a program of finding factorial by using recursion. At the same time, we can directly find the factorial of a given number in Python by using the function factorial. That factorial function was located in this math module. So let us have a close look at each and everything in this math module. For example, I have a number. Okay, I have a number a equal to something called as 25, and then I am asking to print the square root of this one, sqrt of a. So if I do so, I'm getting an error. I'm getting an error at line number 2. That is name sqrt is not defined. So Python compiler by default do not know what is sqrt. So we have to tell the Python compiler that this sqrt belongs to math module. So in order to bring the math module into our program, we have to use the import keyword followed by the name of the module. Now, math module is available in this program. So if you still run the program, you still get an error in this code because directly sqrt is not known to the Python compiler. We have to tell that sqrt was located in math module. So we have, instead of providing sqrt, we have to provide math.sqrt. And if you provide so, and if you run the code, you are going to get an output of 5.0 for a equal to 25. Okay, now I think you understood. So math is one of the default modules in Python, which is used to perform several mathematical related operations. So first one we have covered. So in order to find the square root of a given number, we can use the function sqrt. Directly using the sqrt function will leads to an compile time error. And in order to say the Python compiler that sqrt belongs to the math module, we can provide math.sqrt. And at the same time, there is one function called as pi. Okay, there is one function called as pi. So if I want to print the value of pi, for example, if I simply give pi means, I am going to get an error at line number 7. Pi is not defined. If I use math.pi, okay, if I use math.pi, I am going to get the value of pi, that is 3.14. Okay, similarly, if I want to convert radians into degrees, or if I want to convert degrees into radians, we can use the one more math function, that is math dot. Okay, if I want to convert degrees, okay, if I want to convert into degrees, I can simply provide math dot degrees of 3. Okay, if I do so, I am going to get 171.88 as an output. And this is how we can convert a value into degrees. And at the same time, we can also convert the value into radians. For example, print of math dot, okay, by using the function called as radians. And if you take 17.88 and if you run the code, okay, if you run the code, we are going to get a value of 2.9 something. So this is how we can convert something into degrees and into radians by using math.degrees and math.radians. And at the same time, okay, we can also find the sine value. For example, math.sine. In order to find the sine value, we use the function sin. So sine of 2. So it is going to get this sine value, that is 0.90. And at the same time, if you want to find the cosine value, okay, if you want to find the cosine value, you can provide math.cos. Okay, math.cos. You are going to get the cosine value of 1. And at the same time, you can also get the tan value by using math.tan. So if you provide math.tan, you are going to get the tangent value of 1. So these are some of the functions in math module. Along with this one, as we discussed so far, there is one method called as factorial. Okay, factorial. We can find the factorial of a given number by using the method factorial. Okay, by using the method factorial. So if you provide something called as 2, just a second. If you provide something called as 2, you are going to get 2 as an output. And at the same time, if you provide something called as 5, you are going to get 120 as an output, where factorial can be calculated as, if you provide 5, it will be calculated as 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into up to 1. So 5 into 4, 20, 20 into 3, 60, 60 into 2, 120, 120 into 1, 120. So if you provide 5, you are going to get 120 as an output. And at the same time, if you provide something called as 6, you are going to get 120. sorry, 720. Okay, so this is how we can directly find the factorial of a given number by using the function factorial. So if you see here, we just imported math. So instead of importing math, for example, if I write the statement like this, from math import sqrt. Okay, from math, if I write import sqrt, and if I run the code, okay, if I run the code, I am going to get an error. Okay, I'm going to get an error. So in order to import, okay, in order to import the entire package, okay, we need to follow import math, import and module name. See here. Next one. There is one more. Okay, there is one more module called as random. There is one more module called as random. What this random module will do is that it is going to print the numbers in random order. For example, if I write the statement print, okay, print random dot randint of 0 comma 5, 0 comma 5. Now what will happen is that it is going to print the numbers in random order. For example, and then if you run the code again, it is going to print any one number between 0 and 5. If you run the code again, you are going to get a different number. Okay, so if you write random dot randint of two numbers, we are going to get any one number randomly. So that number may not be same in two computer systems, and that number may not be same in the same computer system if you run twice or thrice. Okay, if you provide 100 comma 500, you are going to get any one number between 100 and 500. So if you got 405, and if you run the code again, you may get a different number, and if you run the code again, you may get a different number, and that number should not be less than 100 and should not be greater than 500. Okay, so this is the use of this random module. This random module is going to pick a random number when we use a randint method. And then we have one more method called as print of. Okay, if you, what happens if you take random dot random? Okay, what happens if you take random dot random? So it is going to print. Okay, what this random dot random is will do is that it is going to print a floating point number between 0 and 1. Okay, 0.7. If you run the code again, you are going to get 0.8. So when you use random dot random, it is going to print any one floating point number between 0 and 1. And at the same time, for the same thing, if you take star 100, okay, if you take star 100, then what will happen is that it is going to print any one random number, okay, any one random number between 0 and 100. So previously, if you don't use this 100, it has printed a random number between 0 and 1. If you take into 100, it is going to print a random number between 0 and 100. Okay, and now let us consider a list. Okay, let us consider a list. A list equal to something called as, let us take some elements 1 comma 2.5 comma and then some x comma CSC. Okay, so these are the elements of a list. Okay, elements of a list. Now what happens if we use this random method with the list? So if you use random, okay, random, there is one method called as choice. Okay, random dot choice of what happens if you use this list. So if you run the code, it is going to generate any one element in the list. Okay, it is going to generate any one element in the list. Okay, and then there is one default module called as date or date time. Okay, date time. So by using this date time, we can print the current date and current time. For example, if we use import date time, and if we print something called as So import date time, and you have to write from date time. Okay, from date to time, import date. Okay, import date, and then import time. So we are bringing the entire module into the program, and at the same time, from the date time, we are bringing date and we are bringing time. So if you write the statement like this, now if you want to print the current time, okay, if you want to print the current time, you can print it by using time dot time. And if you run the code, just the spelling mistake. Okay, import. If you run the code, you can see here, just a second. From date to time, import date. Okay, so what this function will print is that it is going to print the number of seconds. Okay, number of seconds since January 1st, 1970. So since January 1st, 1970, okay, till now, how many number of seconds have been counted will be printed here. Okay, if you run it again, see here, if you run the code again, you are going to get a different number. That means an increment in terms of seconds. You can see here 81. And if you run it again, you are going to get 85. That means 4 seconds have been done from January 1st, 1970. And if you run it again, you are going to get 991, 992, 993, 995. So here, so when we use time dot time, we are going to get the number of seconds that was happened from January 1st, 1972 till date or till second. Okay, and then we can get the date by using date function, etc. Okay, so these are the some of the default modules in Python. Default modules, math, which includes all mathematical functions. So you can also write here import math, and from math, okay, from math import, okay, sqrt. If you write so, just a second. So all the things are included. Okay, I will discuss it later. Leave it. So here, so math is a module which will have all the default functions which are related to mathematics. And at the same time, random is a module. Okay, random is a module which is used to print some random numbers between the given two integers or between the given floating point numbers, etc. And when we have a list, and if we use random dot choice, that choice method is going to print any one element inside the list. Okay, it is going to print any one element inside the list. And at the same time, we can have we have a module called as date time, which is used to get the date and the time by using the functions date and time. So along with this math, random, and date time, there are different modules, such as there is a module called as operator. Okay, there is a module called as operator. What this operator module will do is that this module provides a set of predefined functions which are corresponding to operators in Python. Okay, so please remember the names. Operator, and then there is one more module called as decimal. So what this decimal module is called as, this module is used to generate random numbers. Some of the predefined functions of the module are random, choice, uniform, etc. Sorry, I'm sorry. These are random, radiant, and choice are the functions of random. And the decimal, this module is used to print the complete decimal value with one number is divided by another number. And then we have one more default module called as string. Okay, string module provides a set of functions which are used to perform certain operations on characters. So on characters, we can truncate a string, we can combine a string, or we can search for a character in a string. All the things can be performed by using the string module. Okay, so these are the things. These are the different modules in Python. Okay, so I think you all understood the modules, and if you have any doubts in this, you can keep a message. And thank you very much for being here. We will meet you in the next class, the next topic in the project. I think the third unit may be completed within 2 or 3 classes. Okay, hope you understand. And if you anybody is having the doubts, you can just have a text message. And thank you very much for being here.